Alright, day 9, and we're in Jeju. Here getting breakfast, an onigiri, and some candy before we go on the bus to the airport for our second day of the tour. Today we're going on to the east coast of Jeju. Here is our very enthusiastic and energetic tour guide, Ellen. Our first stop is the Jolmul Natural Forest. In the middle, there's this lake with a baby volcano in the background, and the lake is full of koi fish. Yeah, it's just a really pretty place. We're just an easy stroll, boardwalk throughout the forest. So we just kind of did a short little walk around. There's a temple in the middle with these stone statues in it of just, I guess, mythical characters, and they had this thing where you see how like skinny you are, and this kind of like traditional Chinese medicine like pressure point with these rocks that hurt a lot. But here we are back on the bus to our next stop. It started raining quite heavily, but here we are at a millet distillery that's been run for 4 generations, and so we got to try some of the alcohol with the traditional Jeju rice cake. The alcohol was interesting. It was pretty flavorful and strong, but it was about the same as soju. The traditional rice cake, I'm not a big fan of, at least the outside, which is salty. But on the inside, there's red bean filling, and together it actually goes quite well. But it finally stopped raining before we get to our next stop, which is the Songgop Folk Village. And so this is just a look back in history at how people in Jeju used to live. They had this little animal area with chickens and bunnies and some chained up dogs. They also have some of the original stone grandfather statues in Jeju Island. But yeah, just a little stroll looking at the houses and how they used to live. There's a statue of a boy pooping into the pig pen. But yeah, people still live here in the village, but it's really only elderly people. In the middle, they have this large tree. I guess in all villages in Jeju, the oldest tree is kind of the central area. For lunch, we had fried or barbecued something, black pork, which Jeju is known for, but honestly, kind of just tasted like any other pork. So back on the plane or on the bus to our next stop, which is Gwangchigi Beach. So here you can see the lava rocks next to the seaside. So they're just full of tide pools and just a nice view of, I guess, a mountain peak in the background. And so the tide pools were also full of animals too. And so here's just a little hermit crab, just a little guy. But there was sea urchins and fish and other crabs there. Our next stop is Songsan Ilchobong Peak. And down here, down a lot of steps, you can go down next to the ocean side and watch these UNESCO women divers show. And so they do their song and dance with our very energetic tour guide in the background before they go out to the ocean to dive for abalone and octopus and other like sea snails and whatnot. But this is not part of the tour. We went out onto the boat, which just kind of went around the mountain peak. And so it was a fun time getting an up close look at just the mountainside before getting back onto dry land. There was this one side trail that had a nice view. The rest of the people, they went up the actual peak, but we got some halabong juice, which is just their tangerine variety, and did some souvenir shopping at their gift shop and got some of their tangerine ice cream too that had this candied peel on it as well. That was nice. So back on the bus by the Jeju ocean side before our final stop here at the Mangjangul lava tube. So I guess Jeju has a lot of volcanic history, and here you're walking inside just where lava used to flow underground. And so it's pretty dark inside, but there's some lights, and you get to see just like the lava formation structures. These are like lava stalactites. This is a lava raft that they call the turtle. Some like columns and whatnot. And it was pretty cold down there too, like under 10 degrees. But yeah, just back on the bus. Finally done our long day. Lulu threw up on the bus right before we got off. I guess she was car sick. So we went back to the hotel and cleaned up before going to Dongmun Market again. Finally seeing it open with all of the vendors. There was a fat cat. Just kind of seeing all of the stuff for sale here. For dinner, I decided to get one of these black pork rolls. It wasn't really that good. It's mostly just cabbage inside. But we went to the underground shopping mall and stumbled upon a record store where I got an album, a Dintin album for my sister. And then back outside to, I guess, just the shopping area of old downtown or old Jeju downtown. Back to the Kodak store, and I bought a sweater this time. And yeah, just some more, just shopping, browsing. Lulu went to McDonald's for dinner. We went to the convenience store and I got this drink. And for dinner, for me, it was just finishing up this cup ramen along with the black pork. And I passed out immediately.